So on my note, say, hey, I'm requesting a conference with you so we can sit down and we can discuss these refractions you keep saying that I'm missing, because I'm not understanding how I keep getting blamed for refractions when we have no way of tracking which person did which refraction for which patient. So I would like to have a sit down with you. And I signed it, got up, placed it under her door like she asked me to. And I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, I'm mad. I'm mad because I'm just like, not only are you accusing me of my refractions being off, like you doing it in a way that's kind of like you're not showing me which patient. You're not giving me a reference so that we can fix it. You keep saying like, no, it's you. You're doing this. You're doing this. You're doing this, but not telling me like, okay, what patient is it so we can go back and review the numbers. I have no issue with reviewing the numbers because I'm not saying I'm always right, but like, yo, I know I ain't fucking up I know wholeheartedly I'm not fucking up my refraction. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So when I slid on the door, of course I'm sitting at the computer and I'm just like, I'm tapping my feet because I'm just like, I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm pissed. I'm like, but calm down, Key. Do not let her get your anger. She has a high turnover for a reason. This practice has a high turnover rate for a reason. Don't let it get to you. Everybody said she was hard to work with. You gotta prove to them that like, no, does not matter who you work with. Just you go to work to do a job for the money. Go to work, do your job, get the money, go home. That's the motto. Do the job, go home. So I get up my little walkie-talkie because, like I said, we had little walkie-talkies there because we had to announce wherever we would go. Because she also said on her emails that she never hears me announcing on the walkie. And I don't know if it's because I talk kind of soft in real life. I really talk soft. Like I'm a soft talker. I don't know if they not hearing me, if the volume not up or anything. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to stop giving this lady a reason to come at me. So I picked up my walkie. I took a patient out of the little bin, picked up my walkie. I was like, Kiana, taking IOP check to room 3. I said it loud on the walkie. And when I said it, I asked one of my car, I'm like, did you hear me on the walkie? She said, yeah, I heard you. I'm like, all right, good. As long as y'all heard me on the walkie, being petty. Because I don't know. I was just mad. So I was being a little petty. So anytime I got on the walkie, I was speaking a little loud in the walkie to let them know what patient I grabbed and which room I was going in. So she couldn't say she didn't hear me. I'm like, look, you hear me now. You hear me now. So maybe about 30 minutes went by. I'm in the exam room with a patient in the middle of the exam. I hear somebody come onto the walkie. Kiana, what room are you in? I was like, hi, I'm in exam room 4. It was the doctor. She was like, hey, when you get a chance, can you come to the conference room? I was like, okay. Put the walkie down, finish up the patient. When I walked out the exam room from with the patient, I'm just like, what the fuck? Because I requested a meeting, but I was thinking that the meeting was gonna be at the end of the day or lunch. Like we literally an hour into our morning clinic. So I'm just like, why are you calling me in the conference room when we got all these patients? Like, what the fuck? So I go in the conference room. I sit down. She's in the conference room along with her husband. Her husband was sitting across from me. She was sitting on the side of me. She came in. She asked me to close the door. I closed the door, sat down. She was like, so I called you in here because I got your note and you saying that you wanted a meeting. And I was like, yeah, I was thinking that the meeting was going to be, either during lunch or after clinic. I didn't think it was going to be middle of clinic. She was like, no, you wanted a meeting. We're having a meeting. I see that there's some misunderstandings about your refractions. I was like, so what I'm not understanding is you keep saying that my refractions are off. And I'm like, I'm trying to understand where they're off. She's like, well, your refractions as a whole. I'm like, what I'm trying to understand is, how do you know it's my refraction? Can you like recall a patient, and then we can go through and like see if that was actually me, because I type my complaints a certain way. Like when a patient come in and for their chief complaint, their main reason, I type it a certain way. Because like I said, I've been in ophthalmology for all these years. So it has to be worded a certain way for insurance to pay for it. So I'm still in that mindset of wording a certain way. So if she was to name a patient, we can go to that patient's file, look at that chief complaint, and see if it was actually my patient or not. I do things a certain way for a reason. Okay? All right. So I was just like, how do you know that it's my patient? She was like, well, when you interviewed, you said you had all these skill sets. I'm like, and I do. She's like, and you said that you know how to do refraction. I'm like, and I do know how to do refraction. I showed you that I know how to do refraction. You wanted me to learn it your way, your technique. I learned it your way. I'm doing it your way. And I'm just trying to understand. You keep saying that it's my refraction. I'm just like, just show me the patient, or just give me a patient so we can go back and we can go over the numbers. You're not trying to do that. She's like, I shouldn't have to if you had all these years of experience. I was like, I don't think that my refractions are wrong. I think you're getting me mixed up with the new people that are just now learning refractions. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm trying to come to some sort of understanding of what's going on, because in your email, you saying you about to go down on my pay, and I'm not understanding why you're going down on my pay. And to get to that understanding, I'm like, hey, show me a patient so you can show me these numbers, and we can do it that way. That's all I'm asking. And she was like, I'm not about to go back and forth with you. So I look, I'm like, I'm not trying to go back and forth with you. I'm trying to, okay, all right. I'm not trying to go back and forth. I'm not. She was like, your refractions have been off, and we paid you based on what your resume said. And I'm like, and I do exactly what my resume said, but you keep saying my refractions, and you're not showing me any examples of my refractions being off, or anything that I'm doing being off. And I'm just trying to understand. And that's when her husband chimed in and was just like, look, my wife said she's not going back and forth with you, so she's not going back and forth with you. So I looked at him. I'm like, sir, respectfully, I'm just trying to ask her to show me an example so that I know what I'm doing wrong. You're just telling me I'm doing something wrong, and I don't think that I'm doing anything wrong at all. I think that you have me confused with another text. So I'm just trying to understand that. That is what I'm trying to come to an understanding of. He's like, but like my wife said, we paid you based on the experience that you said that you had on your resume, and with you working with Dr. Minocha. And, you know, my wife and Dr. Minocha, they work real close together. Like, she always sending little referrals to him, this and that. I'm like, I know this. Like I know. He was like, so if she says it's something, that's exactly what it is. And I'm looking at him. I was like, all I'm saying is I want y'all to just tell me which patient it is so that we can get to the bottom of what I'm doing wrong in my actual refraction. So the doctor's looking at me and was just like, well, I don't have to explain that to you. I'm just saying, like, your refractions are off. You just need to tighten it up. And that's when her husband chimed in. He was like, yeah, so we're just trying to work with you to get these things figured out, because if we don't get these things worked out, then you're not a good fit. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, so we're just trying to get your refractions on point so, you know, that we can keep working together and we can keep your pay what it is. And I'm just like, but y'all ain't giving me no examples. Y'all are just telling me that I'm doing something wrong, and I'm telling you that I'm not. And to help the situation, you can just like, hey, this is an example so that I know I cannot correct what you're not showing me that I'm doing wrong, because I've been doing refraction for years. So what part of the refraction do you feel is off? Is it the cylinder, the axis? Like what is it that's off? That's what I'm asking you so that I can fix it, but you're not trying to help me fix it. And the husband was just like, well, like I said, we're just having this conversation with you because, if we have to evaluate you to make sure that you're a good fit. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get it. You want to make sure I'm a good fit. And if I'm not a good fit, you're going to go down on my pay because you paid me based on my resume. But my refractions have been off. But you're not able to tell me which patient my refraction has been off for and like what part of my refraction is off. You're not able to give me any example so that I can work on it. But just saying, hey, your refractions are off. It's not making any sense to me. But okay, I get it. I got it. He's like, good. I'm glad you got it. So I stood up. When I stood up, I walked out the conference room. I walked to the little tech area. I took off my walkie, put my walkie on the charger, got my badge, put my badge in the badge container, got my stuff, and I walked out. Walked out. And I'm like, oh, wait. I turned around, went and got my badge, clocked out, put my badge back in the bin, and then I walked out and got in the car. When I got in the car, I called Marlon.